but now she's gone. She likes to wait and save everything for the last possible minute right before we record. We've been talking for like 30 minutes on air, but she's like, oh no, I forgot something. So yeah, this is where you have now. You have just me sitting here in the chair by myself without Allison. Hopefully the audio is working. Okay, there she is. Well, look who it is. So nice of you to finally join me.
Hi, I'm back. Matt, when I ran out, Matt goes, who won the March Madness? Making fun of me because that's what I asked. I said, who won the March Madness?
The March Madness.
And then he said, you're probably excited because this is the first time the Sacramento Kings have made the playoffs in like
That's
6
right.
years.
That's why I'm trying to get into a playoff game. But let me tell you, Sacramento Kings fans are starved for playoff basketball because those tickets are hard to get and expensive.
Oh, really? It's like trying to get a Taylor Swift ticket.
Oh, man, it's like there's a bunch of Swifties. It's like Sacramento, it turned into a bunch of Swifties, and they're all trying to get in there, see her on her latest tour, or this is Beyonce rolling. It's a Beyonce and Taylor Swift rolled into Sacramento and had a joint concert, and everybody's trying to get tickets.
Everyone's
it is hard.
Trying to get in. Okay,
so
I'm trying to make sure.
I'm trying to do what I can to get some.
I am super delayed on my end.
You know what? This is the life here. I want you all to know we're live right now. Allison had 30 minutes to test out all this stuff, to make complaints, to leave, to come back. But she decided, you know what? I think the best time for me to do this, I know what the best time is right now as live starts, to be like, my stuff's not working. This is what I suffer. This is what I suffer through, everyone. Here. I want you all to know this.
I'm in the Discord channel. You are not. I've recorded on QuickTime already. Have you?
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, okay?
Yeah, no, you haven't.
Why y'all in my business? That's what I want to know.
I'm ready to go here.
Why y'all in my business? All right, let me bring this recording up here. All right, I'm clicking this. Let's see. All right, got that set. This looks right. I think that's right. I'm going to click record. We'll see when I go to look at this recording later if this is actually the right one.
Recording all right, what are you recording?
This is episode 68. Yes, this is episode 68 we're going to be recording today. And what was I going to tell you? Oh, the one thing we got to talk about, Allison, we're going to talk about this in the episode, is I went to WrestleMania.
Okay, let's talk about that in the episode.
No, we're going to talk about it now. We're going to talk about it now. We're going to talk about it during the episode. We're going to talk about it after the episode. So, because Beth Ann in Discord said this is what she wanted to do. Okay, so I'm telling you right now, Allison. Huh?
What is WrestleMania? How is it different than like WWF or WWE?
Oh my goodness. So WWE puts on WrestleMania. It's like the thing of it, like the Super Bowl.
Is it like playoffs of WrestleMania of WWF?
It's like the Super Bowl of professional wrestling. It's like their biggest event they put on for the year. Every year in March, they do this thing. It's so big they count it. Like this was WrestleMania 39. Like, Super Bowl. They count the numbers of the Super Bowl. It's like that. So it's like it's a big event. It's a big thing. And I don't actively watch wrestling anymore. I probably stopped when I was like middle school, maybe freshman year of high school. But me and my friends, we're huge wrestling fans. So when I saw these tickets pop up, I had to grab them. It was
it fun?
It was fun. It was. I've never been to any live wrestling event in my life. I always wanted to as a kid, but that was not going to happen. It was cool. I'll leave it at that. I'll save the rest for the actual episode, though.
Okay, sounds good.
I won't do too much, but I do have something for you here. Hold on. Wait,
we need a clap.
I guess we could clap. Let me open this thing up here. Can I trust you to do the clap? Are you going to be able to handle this?
I can do it. I believe in myself.
All right.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, clap.
Got it.
See, I did it.
Got it.
I did it.
I got another video for you. I don't know if you've seen this one. Last time you spoiled it because you'd already seen it.
I'm sorry, I guess.
I try to bring fresh new videos, and you make me sad because I'm like, well, you're like, I already seen that junk, Chris. Bring me something new I haven't seen before.
Thank you. Come on, step it up, Chris.
All right, I think this is it. Let me move this around here. Okay, quick time. You get over here. Tell me, can you see this? There we go. Look at that.
Yes. Oh, okay. I don't know this one.
You don't know this one?
No, I don't. I haven't seen it. I'm gonna ask Matt to bring me a Coke Zero.
All right, here we go. Let me play this for you, if I can find it.
Time for a quick lesson.
This is my business, and this is yours. I am here. The problem is, you are also here when you need to be here. So if 2 + 2 is 4, stay with me. 5 plus 5 equals 10, then explain this. Make this make sense. Mind your business.
There you go. That's your video of the week, Allison.
I love it. I
also,
love it.
I don't know if I think she's a teacher. I don't know if she's a math teacher, but it felt very appropriate for you.
Yes. I love good math. You know, I will say that my son got COVID and was home from school for 5 days, and he's in 5th grade, and I taught 5th grade math. And let me tell you, when I realized he was going to be home, and like there's no option, like there's no like here's your, digital lesson. No. I was like, you learn so much in 5 days. It's like so quick that I actually had Matt. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my light here. I actually had Matt go into the attic and pull out my 5th grade math stuff because I still have all my teaching stuff, just in case like pigs can fly. And I literally pulled it out and like started doing work with him to keep him. And then I will have you know that on the day he went back to school, he made 100 on his math test.
Did you miss it? Did that like, oh, I miss being a teacher?
So I did.
Really?
Yes. So I was looking through it. So Matt went up in the attic and I'm standing there on the ladder and he's like, I'm calling out like, oh, okay, I need to work on this and this and this. Cause I looked to see what he was learning about, during that time at period in school. And then I looked at his grades to see, oh, he didn't do so great on these concepts. Let's pull that too. And I was looking through everything and I was like, oh my gosh, Matt, like this looks fun. Like I miss it. I miss all this stuff.
This looks
and he was
fun.
like, don't do it. It's different since when you left. You don't want any more of that, Allison. And I was like, God, you're right. I can't go over to the dark side and go back to teaching. Like it was.
I don't blame anyone who doesn't want to be a teacher anymore at all.
He just says, and like I got out in 2019. So I don't know what teaching is like post COVID. And he says it's just like just a lot harder. Like the kids are not as independent. They're not as respectful. They're like, there's just a lot of things that go into it. And they just have lots of gaps in their learning. So speaking of the devil, you are not the devil. You're right.
Wow. That was really rude.
That was really rude. I apologize. I was telling them about how Matt, there's no cussing on this podcast.
We couldn't even hear what he said.
Yes, we are recording. They could hear everything you said.
Okay.
Oh. I love you.
I like how you have like tableside service in the middle of a recording. Like, oh, I called down to the kitchen, have them bring up something for me.
He brings me like a charcuterie board.
Oh man. All right, let's get into this episode.
Sorry about that. Let's do it.
You ready? You ready for this?
I'm ready for this.
All right. Oh, it's me. I'm doing the awkward story, aren't I?
Yeah, it's you.
Okay. So, Allison, I told you that I got to go to WrestleMania. And, this is the Super Bowl of professional wrestling. The dream I've always had since I was a little kid. So, actually, I went with Logan, who's always here with us in Discord. I tricked him into doing it because I finally say it's late the night before WrestleMania. So anyways, we get there. These are box seats, Allison's. And this is SoFi Stadium, box seats, a box with a bathroom in it. You have your own personal bathroom in this thing. It is amazing. So we get there. And this is like WrestleMania is a 2-night thing. So this was night 2. So some of the people there had been there for night 1. They said, you know what? The Undertaker was in the box right next to us last night. I don't know if you know who the Undertaker is. Oh my God. Okay. I don't even have time in his opening story to explain the Undertaker to you. But he was there. Then next to him was Stephen A. Smith, the guy from ESPN. You probably don't know who that is either. But anyways, we're sitting there and everyone keeps looking, hoping he shows up again. And guess what, Allison? The Undertaker strolls on into that box, walks up over. This guy's like almost 7 feet tall, so it's easy to see him. And everyone's losing their mind. They're all like looking over their shoulder constantly, trying to look at him, trying to like sneak a picture. So there's a guy sitting in the front of this box with us, because this is just a bunch of random people. We all just bought these tickets online. None of us know each other. And he has a kid, and he goes up to the box, and the box is like, there's like a little short piece of glass between the boxes. You could step over it to the next box. And he proceeds to just stand there, sticking his head over the glass, staring at the Undertaker and yelling his name over and over. Take a picture with my son. Take a picture with my son. Oh, my button didn't.
going so great.
That didn't work. Let me try that again. And I think it's broken. Imagine that there's music playing there. I don't know what happened to the button. But anyways, hey, this is Chris.
And this is Allison, and you're listening to This Is Awkward. And I need to know, did The Undertaker do it? Did he do it to shut him up? Or did he just say, like, no, not right now? Like, what happened?
The Undertaker stood there, stone-faced, straight looking ahead, never blinked, never turned, never acknowledged this man the entire time.
Oh my god!
He just completely ignored him. He was like, no, because he's in there with like his family, his kids are in there. Like he didn't want to be. Like it was really weird the way the guy was doing it. He was like leaned
rude.
half of his body over, and it was just like it was weird. The guy was doing some weird stuff the whole time. So I was like, yeah, I don't blame him. I don't know if I want to engage with a weirdo, anyways.
No. Okay, so I didn't know you could just buy box seats.
Yes,
something like that.
On these resale websites, my go-to ones now are at SeatGeek and Game Time. I'll go on there, and you'll just be able to buy box seats to games. Like I bought playoff tickets for the NBA playoffs, box seats. It was like $170 for a playoff game, box seats.
What?
Couldn't believe it. But yeah, there's people who just own these boxes who are just reselling them. I guess we can't go, so they just throw them online and you can buy them. And I got to tell you, once you get box seats, it's so hard to go somewhere else. It's like it's amazing.
I've never had a experience like that in a box seat.
I don't know what it's like across the country, but in California, in LA, I've been able to get some good deals. Like those WrestleMania tickets, they were like $300 for box seats for WrestleMania. When some of those tickets were going for like $5,000 in some of those other areas.
Oh,
yeah, I'm not paying that kind of money, but somebody was. There was 80,000 people there. 80,000 people were willing to pay obscene amounts of money. But yeah, Allison, if there's one thing you got to do in your life, is sit in a box at some type of event, concert, sporting event, whatever. It's magical.
Do you get free food?
No, you don't get free food. Like those rich people are paying for their food, I'm assuming. But if you're just there buying somebody else's ticket, you're not getting free food. But you typically have like a separate area. So like when you walk out of the box, it's like quiet because there's barely anybody up on that particular level because you got to show your ticket to get there. Mm-hmm. It's all quiet. You got separate bathrooms with there's no lines, any bathrooms, any of that stuff. You're just walking around freely.
Wow.
It's
so
amazing.
Whenever I was a teacher, we did take a field trip to like some of the stadiums in Arlington. And so I got to walk into a box and then I opened up the refrigerator. It was stocked full of alcohol. My students were like, oh, that's great. I was like, oh, don't look, kids.
Don't look. Avert your eyes from this alcohol.
Yes.
No,
but
unfortunately,
I've
it's not
never
stocked
been experienced an event. I've only walked into it and that's it.
You got to do it. I would never pay whatever price it actually costs to go into, like to have a box, but I will pay $100 or a couple $100 to experience it because it is like the superior way of watching a basketball game, like or any sporting event. Like I've sat in nosebleeds, I've gotten to sit, I count good deals and sit close, but it's just something special about having this box. You just get up. There's like a couch. There's like couches. There's like an island, a sink. There's a bathroom. There's TVs in there. I'm like, this is what rich people are doing, huh? This is how they're living. Did not know that.
Yeah, you didn't. And now you're never going to go back to a sporting event unless you're in a box seat, unless you're being spoiled rotten, right?
I'll never be the same.
Yeah. And this is when I was trying to make some sort of witty transition.
I saw you were trying.
That's what I was trying, but that's what we do here. I kind of made it a little awkward. That's what we do here. We either make things awkward or we talk about awkward situations. And that's what we do. We try to talk about awkward money situations.
You found it.
I found it to help you navigate through these uncomfortable situations without losing your friends and family along the way.
Yeah. And what makes this show what it is when all of you send in your awkward stories. We really appreciate it. And we got a good one today. This one comes in from, they're going by Allie. And let's just say, she's trying to get paid. Someone's not paying her money. I know you haven't. I read it in. Someone's not paying her money and she needs her money. So that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Ooh. Oh my gosh. Well, I can't wait to do that. But before we jump into that, Chris, do you know what something that is always worth the money?
Oh, no. What is it?
Is that, yeah?
I like
it's our Patreon. Tell them all about it, Chris.
So we bring you awkwardness twice a month, the first and third Wednesday of every month. But we put out additional bonus content for our patrons who so kindly support what we do here, at least 2 episodes on top of what we already put out for all of you. We have a segment we do called Am I the Awkward One, where we go through some just crazy stories we find on the internet. We have special What I'm Loving segments. We have revisiting of other old topics we've covered. We do a lot of things there, and you can come in and join us for only, $3 a month gets you an ad-free Patreon feed so you can avoid all the ads in the show. $5 gets you all those bonus episodes, and just help us keep creating the awkwardness here on the podcast.
And then you can join us live, just like Shirley is. Logan's here live. I'm not sure there's some people watching. Beth Ann's here live. You can join us live. You can chat with us. It's super great. It's really fun. In fact, in today's Patreon episode that we're recording after this podcast, we're going to be highlighting something that one of our patrons sent in.
Yeah.
So you get to send in some stuff that you want us to talk about. You can learn more by going to patreon.com/thisisawkwardpodcast, or just click the link in the show notes as well.
Yeah, you do that. Get on that. And before we head into the break here, if you want to be like our anonymous writer who left their story for us, you can go to it. I look down here at my buttons, so I can't read them from this angle. You can call us at 707-200-8259. Or like our anonymous writer did, you can go to awkwardpodcast.com. We have a forum there. You just put whatever name you want there. I encourage people to make up the craziest names they can and throw it in there along with their awkward story. And we'll be reading them here on a future episode, just like we're doing today.
We'll be right back after a short break. You know what I'm doing is I'm looking at SeatGeek.com right now, trying to see how much box seats are.
We're buying tickets. We'll be back after this break. Oh man, okay, we're on a break now.
I typed in NBA, but it says there's nothing near me.
Well, I mean, the Houston Rockets suck, so they're not going to they're not in the playoffs.
Which means their box tickets would be really cheap.
Well, there's only like 2 games left in the season, so you have to type in the name of your actual team. You can't just type NBA. Like type Rockets or Spurs or Mavericks, something like that. You have to be specific. And then you look it up. Actually, here, let me share can I share my screen? I'm going to go on SeatGeek
Dallas
here.
Mavericks. That's what Matt likes.
Yeah, let's see. I wonder what they are. I'm really curious to see what these tickets cost.
Okay, there's one. Oh, they play the San Antonio Spurs on Sunday at 2:30.
Where's my share screen button on here, Allison? There it is.
I don't know.
Found it. All right, who are you looking at? Mavericks?
Mavericks versus the Spurs.
Let's see. They're struggling. All right, let's see. Spurs.
I don't see any boxes.
There may not be
There's
any
no
available.
boxes here.
Let's see. Is this a box? Here we go. Sweet. Oh, look. For a mere $5,219, Allison, you guys can get tickets in the suite here.
One ticket?
Oh, wait. Here we go. Look at. Oh, wait. No, this is not a suite. This is just a section.
One ticket.
Yeah, no.
It's for one ticket?
One ticket. $5,000.
What do you think is more expensive, courtside or box?
Oh, courtside. Well, in this case, there's one sweet ticket here for $5,000, and there's a courtside seat here, a VIP seat for $2,500.
Yeah.
It really depends on the team and the location, right? Like depending on who you want to type in, you may or may not find reasonable seats because you need someone there to sell their seats. If they're not selling them, then you're not gonna get them.
Oh, so you're saying you are just happen to end up at all the games and events that no one wants to go to?
No, I'm just saying you need someone there willing to sell. Like the Staples Center, because I refuse to call it Crypto.com Arena. In the Staples Center, there's always someone there selling their box seats. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe the people there just don't like basketball who own that box, and so they're just constantly selling their tickets.
So people buy a box and they get those tickets for any event that takes place there?
I'm not part of the 1%, so I'm not sure how that exactly works. But like a lot of these boxes, they'll see like a corporate name on the wall. Like on the wall, it'll say AT&T or something. Like they own that box. I think some of them are just owned by individuals, but I don't know if you can get. I don't know if you own a box if you get a ticket to everything. But they just get tickets to this basketball game, and I will take their tickets off their hand.
Yeah, it could be like the casino your mom likes to go to. Probably owns a box somewhere, right?
Potentially, yeah. They probably own a box.
Well, they always give her box seats to things. They're like, come back and gamble. Here's a box seat.
Please take this box. Can I show? I'm going to show this to you here. This here. Oh, I know how to do this. Give me a second here. I'm going to drag this video over. I'm going to show you. Did I show you what the box looked like? I don't think I did.
No, you didn't. You just sent me a picture of like the view.
Of the view. All right, I'm gonna drag this video over. With my computer's acting real slow. There you
So
go.
when you find these tickets and you invite a friend, does that mean that it's like do you guys go Dutch or do you pay for the tickets?
If I'm
Because
paying
you
for,
came
if
up
I
with
paid
it.
for the tickets,
Like let's say that you're like, "Hey, Logan, I want to go to this game. The tickets, like it's my idea. Do you want to go with me?" Do you pay for both tickets?
oh no, no.
Or do you go Dutch?
Well, so this is what happens. I don't just buy them and assume. So with WrestleMania, I found the tickets, and I know we both were wrestling fans growing up. We played wrestling video games all the time, and so I asked him. I said, "Look, man, I found these tickets. I showed them where they were, and I was like, do you want to go? Should we buy these tickets?" And he said, yes. So then I bought them. He sent me his half of the money, and boom, we just go from there. But no, if I'm like, I already have I bought tickets to a Clipper game. I got super close, and I had already bought them. I wanted to go, and I just like, all right, last minute, I found a friend Chris, great name by the way, and he said, okay, I can make it, and I just said, don't worry about it. I already bought these. This is my thing, so I just paid for his ticket. Yeah. So if it's like that, okay. I'll pay for it. But if it's like we agree together, then no, I'm not paying for your tickets.
I was just curious.
Okay, all right, I found the video here. So this is the video from the box here.
Oh.
So this thing is massive. Okay. I didn't even capture the bathroom.
Well, hopefully not, because someone was probably using it.
It is. And
How
this
many
is like,
people were in this box?
Let me turn this down.
How many people were in the box?
So this place is massive. I've never been to a football game, so this is my first time even being in a football stadium. And it's...
Oh, wow. You've never been to a football game?
Never. Because we didn't have a football team for years.
This super tiny little square thing in the middle of this huge...
It's massive.
Space.
Yeah, no, I mean, we didn't have a football team for years here in California. So in Southern California, so I couldn't go to an NFL game.
Don't y'all have the Chargers?
Yeah, well, they're in San Diego, which is like 2 hours from here.
Oh, okay. Woo. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, I didn't even catch how impressed I should have been by you saying that you knew that there were NFL teams at other spots. Oh, but yeah, WrestleMania.
Okay.
Let's get back into it.
Why don't you bring us back and I'll read it?
You're going to read it? Okay.
I'll read it because I haven't read it yet.
All right, we are back. We had some great WrestleMania talk during the break. If you ever come and join us live on YouTube, you can hear our random conversations between the breaks. Or if you're a patron, you get that when we put it out in the podcast feed. But Allison, take us away. Take it away. Yeah, there we go. Those are the words. Take it away with today's awkward story.
Oh, that wasn't awkward. Okay,
no, not at all.
This awkward story comes from Allie, and she says, "Hi, Chris and Allison. I'm wondering how you would handle a bizarre behavior that I've encountered on my job. I'm self-employed and my clients usually pay me in cash or by Venmo as soon as I'm finished with the work. A new client had me do some work but did not pay me that day. The next day she texted me to say she forgot to pay me and would take care of it that day. 5 days later, she texted me saying she's been so busy and wasn't sure if she had paid me. I told her that no, I haven't received payment from her yet. She said she was at the gym but would pay me later that day. By the next day, she still had not paid. She finally paid me 6 days late. The following day, I was back at her house to do work again. That was 3 days ago, and surprise, surprise, she hasn't paid me. I texted her a friendly reminder, but all I got back from her was radio silence. When she hired me, we discussed pay rates and methods. I've never had this issue before, and it baffles me. What should I do?"
This person skipping out on paying this lady. I mean, all right, do you want to... I always offer it to you, Allison. Do you want to go first? What are your thoughts on this? You did the hard work of reading it.
I think she should fire this client. Just flat out. I think she should say, this isn't working out. I'm sorry. Why would you do work for free? You should fire this client. You should say, and here's how you do this.
All right, go for it.
You text her back. You say, you should just say that you were 6 days late for my past payment and you're late again. If this type of late, like I would either say, from now on, I'm going to start charging a late fee of, $25 a day. If you are still continue to be late, then I don't think it's best that we work together anymore. I mean, I don't know. Put it in ChatGPT. Say, ChatGPT, help me fire a client.
Okay, here's why
I'm serious.
I know you and basically Chat GPT is you and you are Chat GPT at this point. You guys are one in the same.
Mind. ChatGPT has become my mind. I don't have to think anymore.
I think it's so hard though with dealing with this stuff because like if you have a job, if your boss isn't shady, you're just gonna get paid, right? You do the work, you have a set payday, they're gonna pay you. Mm-hmm. You don't have to worry about this stuff. But when you set out to work for yourself, now all of a sudden you're the collections agency, right? You got to be the one who's out there trying to track down every dollar you've worked for. And I want to ask you this, Allison. One thing I noticed that this person, they have a track record, right? Like this wasn't a one-time thing. Like they didn't pay her on time and then she went back and did work again for them. Now, how would you handle it? If someone was like, they paid you, but it took them forever, would you work with them again? Or is it like, you burn me once, I'm done. I don't trust you anymore.
I think that when you're working for yourself, I think this is a lot different than when you're like working for a company. Here's an example. Let's say that like my window broke not too long ago. We had to pay $1,800, have our whole window replaced. Me being late on payment to the window company would be very different than me being late on payment to the person who actually came out to fix the window. The person who came out works for the company. They are not there necessarily to collect payment. I mean, they did, but if I don't pay them for some reason, if they send me an invoice and I don't pay them, it's not on that individual person. It's on the company. The company has to make the decisions, right? The company has to deal with it. As a business owner, and you work for yourself and you're in charge of collecting the payment, it's on you. It falls on you. And so to me, as a business owner, I don't want to work with people that are not going to respect me enough to pay my invoices on time or completely like radio silence, ghost me. Like I would just rather take that extra time. Now, this comes from a privileged place. I'm going to say this because if you don't necessarily need that money right then and there, it's being able to say, you know what, I'm willing to let go of this client and spend that time and energy finding a better client that's going to pay me well, pay me on time and respect me in that way.
That's true. Because it is risky, right? I think that's the thing too. Like you feel nervous if you're in this spot where she's like, I need the money because obviously I want to have a place to live and eat food. But it's kind of scary to be like, do I turn away someone who's willing to pay me, even though they are horrible at responding back and they kind of take their sweet time to pay me? Like that can be kind of scary because you're like, I want their money, but it's just, I don't know when I'm going to get it.
Exactly. What's that saying? Like one in the bush is better than two in the hand or something?
That is exactly how that saying goes. You got that 100% accurate your first time. Yeah.
Thank you. So it's just like that. But I like to think of it like this. Think about it like daycare. Now, Chris, you might not know this, but when
I went to daycare.
Okay. So when you were in daycare, when we put our children in daycare, if you were late picking your child up, you were charged $1 a minute. So there is a closing time. There is a boundary. There is a set. You have to respect the hours of operation. You have to respect this. And the same is true when you're an entrepreneur. You have to respect it. You have to stand up for yourself, which can feel really scary because in a like more traditional job, it's not you necessarily standing up to the person not paying. It's the company having to do that. Someone else in the company that deals with that.
Yeah. And I think too, but like you said, putting in like some type of fee in place because there's gotta be a penalty, right? Like most people don't make change out of the goodness of their heart. Like there gotta be some type of like something to push them to make a change. Like, I'm just being real.
I like to think that people make a change out of the goodness of their heart.
Not always. Sometimes you gotta have something. There has to be a reason for you to change, right? Something bad has to have happened for you to make a change.
I mean, no. Whoa.
Think about it. Just if you're being realistic, something negative happened, and that's like, you know what? I don't want that negative thing to happen again. So I got to do things differently. And I'm not talking about like something extreme. Just like, oh, you know what? I forgot to pay my bill, and then I got a late fee, or I didn't. I don't know, move my car and they threw a ticket on my windshields and I remember every week I got to move my car at this time. Like there's certain things that happen that trigger a change in you, right? Like if you just nothing bad ever happened, you just keep doing the same thing. Like if this lady just kept paying her late all the time and nothing ever happened, she's going to keep paying her late. Like, what incentive does she have to do anything different other than, an internal
that's why she
decision to be a
should
better
fire
person?
her. Do you not think that she should fire her? What do you think she should do? I don't think she should fire her. I think there needs to be like a stepping ladder.
Right. There's a progression, right? Like, you don't just go from 0 to firing.
Okay, so if there's a 3-step progression,
okay,
let's say let's use like Melissa Urban. Do you know who that is?
Oh yeah, I don't know. Who's Melissa Urban?
Who it is. She wrote the book of Boundaries. I have it right there on my shelf, and she has inside of her book. It's so great. Let me just hold on.
Everyone just look at me right now. Wow, Allison goes to find this book.
So this is it, called The Book of Boundaries by Melissa
Urban. This was one of your things you were loving one week, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So in her book, she has the boundaries, but she does them as like green, yellow, red. Like here's your first kind of like first time setting the boundary is green. Yellow is like, okay, you've already not crossed the bound, like you've already pushed on the boundary, and then red is like, okay, you're clearly
like you're
not
violent
following the boundary.
now. You're seeing red.
Okay. And so this woman, right, the green was the first time that she said, what did she say? A new client of mine did some work but did not pay me that day. The next day she texted me and said she forgot to pay me and would take care of it that day. Right? That's green. That's like, okay, great. Like, please take care of me. Send her the invoice. Or, I mean, I guess it was like Venmo. I don't know if you can like send someone a link from Venmo. Can you send someone a thing that's like, pay me money?
Can you send I don't use Venmo very often.
Like
can you request money? Probably.
I don't use Venmo. I use Venmo to pay James's music teacher, but that's it.
All right. You keep talking. I'll look it up. I'll go my Venmo and see.
So that would be like green. And then yellow would be 5 days later. She texted me and said, she's been so busy. Like, to me, I'm like, no, you haven't been that busy. It takes 30 seconds to send somebody money via Venmo. Like, you're not so busy that you don't have 30 seconds to spare.
Yes, you can request money.
Yes, you can. And then red would be, okay, if you continue to not pay me, then I'm no longer going to do work with you. Sorry, I just laid out the progression.
No, I was following along, even though I was scrolling through Venmo. I think that makes sense. Like, there's a progression. And also, you could probably use some type of invoicing software to kind of automate that for you. Like, to put that in place where there's automatic reminders. Because I think when you're first starting out, right, you're just using whatever tools you got. And Venmo's right there. It's free. It's easy to use. But it puts all of it on you. Puts all the responsibility on you to remind them, to follow up. But looking into some type of invoicing software will allow you to just say, look, I put this in place, set rules, and then in your contract, just say, look, these are the terms. If you don't pay me by this time, this is the fee, and this is how the fee scale works. If you don't continue to pay me going forward, right? You gotta just lay it all out up front, because if not, this person is going to keep doing this. Like, I would never trust this person to pay me on time again, unless I can force them to change.
Exactly. I think it's kind of like 3 strikes you're out kind of thing. Like, have a set rule for yourself as well. So on Venmo, you sure you can request to pay people?
Yeah, you can either send it or you can make a request to them.
Did you check the app? Is that how you figured it out?
Yeah, there's a send/request button.
Oh.
Look, she doesn't even believe me. Allison doesn't even believe what I'm saying.
Oh, I have a new transaction. Okay. No, you can look at your own app and see what you find there.
Oh, you sent me some money?
I don't know. Check.
I'm not looking. This is a setup. I know there's no money from you in there.
What? No.
I'm not falling for it. Anyways, Allison.
Open your Venmo app.
Okay, I'm gonna look.
Just real quick.
Okay, my Venmo app is open. Okay. Now what do you want me to do?
Do you see anything there? See a notification?
Oh, I see Logan paid somebody for Topgolf. I didn't see that.
He did not invite you?
I didn't even get an invite. Rude. Logan, where's my invite to Topgolf? Rude, man.
Did you just get it?
Allison just sent me a request for $10,000 for my friendship. And let me tell you, that's price gouging if I've ever seen it. Let me hit decline. Imagine if I accidentally hit pay. Would it just send you $10,000?
No.
Or try to send you $10,000? I can tell you there's not $10,000 in that account. No, I will not test it out. I don't want to know. So for you, Allison, have you ever, I need to get to your business now. Have you ever not paid someone when they asked you to? Like whether it's something formal, like for some work, or just like a friend paid for something and then you just, forgot to pay them back or took forever to pay them back.
Not that I can think of off the top of my head, but I will tell you a fear as a business owner. So, and I've told you this, I recently hired a fractional CFO that has really taken
you sound
over.
so fancy. A fractional CFO.
Fractional. I not a full CFO, just a fractional CFO. And the CFO has taken over my like, not my bill paying, but all my bookkeeping, but by paying my contractors and paying. Anyway, I have this like major fear that she's not going to pay. Like she's going to forget. Like I have like really big issues letting go of control of it. And I'm telling you right now, it's April 6th. And one of my contractors reached out to me.
Anybody.
One of my contractors reached out to me and he said, I haven't gotten paid yet. And I was
like, how long?
I don't know. I don't know when. Like she's supposed to pay them at the beginning of the month. And
is this story about you?
This contractor was very rude. He was like, "Give me my money now, or I'm going to quit."
Did he really?
Well, it was Matt.
No,
he didn't say that.
Get out of
but
here.
He did say, I haven't gotten paid yet. I was like, you haven't? So I'm like waiting. I'm like, do I need to remind them? Like it makes me nervous. I have so much anxiety around paying people late that like I don't want because I know if people aren't going to get paid, they don't feel seen and respected, and they're going to want to quit. That's just like
you want to get paid for your work. I'm not working for free.
Yeah, and I want to pay people on time. I want to pay people consistently. So I'm kind of nervous because I haven't seen it. So I felt a little like this story was about me when I was reading it.
You're like, they went to thisisawkward.com and said, since she's not responding to my emails, I'm just going to leave this awkward story in there.
This is actually from Kaylee, this awkward story. But no, I mean, I just like, it's weird to let go of that type of thing and like put it in someone else's hands as a business owner who like runs her own business. Because that is like, to me, that is my most important expense. My most important expense is paying the people that work for me.
So are you saying that this person here,
if I'm going to be late on anything, it's not going to be that.
Are you saying that this person here, you're giving them a break, that maybe they have a fractional CFO who's not paying these invoices to Allie? Is that what you're saying?
No, because this woman is claimed, she has admitted that it's on her to pay them and that she's doing it. So to me, it's very disrespectful. Like as someone that pays other people, the idea of being late and paying them for work that they have done or not paying them for work they have done, like I have major like makes my skin crawl kind of issues. So I have like no grace for it because I don't want to be that person to someone else.
Yeah, you got to be responsible.
Yeah.
When I think about it, like I obviously, if there's anyone who helps me with any type of work, I pay like super fast. I'm like, I try to be like, right when I see it, boom, getting paid. But when I think about on the personal side, like outside of business stuff, I also have like this thing, like I got to pay people right away. Like if someone pays for something and I said I'll, pay them back, I'm one of those people that when I leave the restaurant, if I won't even leave the restaurant table, I'll sit there right then and there and be like, all right, how much do I owe you? Boom, boom, boom. And I'll send it off. Cause I hate having that feeling of like you left someone hanging or making them feel awkward, right? Cause I know what it feels like to be the one who has to ask someone for money when they owe me. And I hate to be like, oh, now I'm making someone else have to agonize over, all right, do I just blind send this request or do I send them a text first and then the request? And you know what? Side note here. I was talking to Natalie. I do these news segments with her, and we the topic came up about like sending like just like unsolicited, unprompted, unnotified money requests to other people. And I asked her if she did this, and she's like, I do this all the time. She's like, I don't care. She's like, I will send this request, and I want to know for you, do you do that? Like if someone owes you money, do you do the hey, just give me a heads up, I'm going to send you a request for this money? Or do you just go into whatever Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, whatever, and then just send the request to the person without any type of heads up in advance?
I don't know. I don't feel like I have a lot of situations where I split costs with people. And maybe that's very like a post-COVID thing. And also it's a Texas thing because you can split a check 15 ways if you want. We're not like New York or California where they like limit the number of
We can
ways you can
split
split things.
checks. It just depends on the
Oh,
restaurant, though.
okay. So I don't feel like there's a lot of like I owe people money. Now there are times whenever like in the past our group of neighborhood girls would collect money for someone's birthday. And so it was just if you wanted to give, you could. And
Is this like when you were a kid?
there
Like you were younger?
no, like as adults,
Okay.
we
'Cause
did
you said
it. We
neighborhood girls.
do
Like, who are
it.
these
We
neighborhood
don't do it
girls?
too much. Like there's these neighborhood women's maybe between like 15 to 20 people. We just actually put an end to it. That was kind of an awkward money thing,
Wait,
but we just kind of put an end to it.
so you were all pitching in a set dollar amount in order to pay for a birthday gift for
Whatever
one
you
person?
wanted. So it started out. So oh gosh, we're getting on a sidetrack here. But the neighborhood I live in started out with like 4 or 5 moms that had kids like this age because it's an older neighborhood. So the older generation has started moving out and younger generations are moving in. And so it started out years ago, like 12 years ago with these like 4 or 5 moms. They would meet at the park and it was just them with like all these older people that still live there that had like kids in college or married and whatever. And they would celebrate each other's birthdays. Well, as more younger families moved in and were very much a connected little group, the birthdays would expand. So then one person would take care of a birthday. Like I would say, okay, everyone, Chris's birthday's coming up. We're going to get together at this person's house in the backyard, bring wine, bring a dish. If you want to donate or if you want to give money for their birthday gift, you can do so. Send me the money. I'll collect it and I'll buy a gift card. So like the first time they did it for me, I got like $220 gift card. But
Yeah, that's a
every
good amount of
time
people.
for each, yeah. So it's like, if it's like 10 people that give, $20, some people give 15, some people give 30, who knows? I don't know. But what's happened is our neighborhood has expanded even more. So you have some people that have kids that are like in late elementary, middle school, and then some people have kids that range all these ages, and some people have kids that are just in like preschool or young elementary. And so now you have all these people in this and it's like, are we forgetting someone's birthday? What's happening? Like what if I don't know this person? I don't want to give money to them. I don't ever talk to them. So it became this big thing. So I sent out a mass group text message and basically was like, we're not doing this anymore.
You ended it?
I ended it.
I can't. Why would you end it? Why did you feel the responsibility to be like, I'm shutting this down?
Because no one else would. No one else would. It had become a big problem because one person was friends with people of like two, because you have like your older kid moms and your younger kid moms.
What, old kid moms and young kid moms can't be friends?
So, well, I can't believe we're getting into this. This is suburban
I'm learning about
America.
the intricacies of suburban mom birthday pools now.
So the older kid moms, they're not going to the park anymore with their kids. So we have one little neighborhood park. And they all, when their kids were younger, would go and became really good friends. Well, as your kids get older, they don't want to go to that park anymore. They're involved in all of these after school things like swim and tennis lessons, all these things, right? Well, I've gone to the park just me. My kids are at home. They don't want to go to the park. And I'm like, I'm going to go hang out with my mom friends. I go to the park. Matt drives by on the way home. I'm like, kids are at home. Go make dinner. I'm at the park with my friends.
I'm over drinking at the park. Just go on through.
No, I'm not drinking anything. But so you have these groups of moms, but I'm an extrovert, right? Like, so I don't mind talking to all these moms and meeting them. I need this after working alone all day. So I know a lot of the moms. Well, one of the moms was putting together a birthday and we kind of group it by months. And she's like, oh, well, it's this mom's birthday and this mom's birthday. And it was like, these moms came from the 2 separate groups.
The 2 different rival gangs.
Are like, yes. So then people are like, well, now I feel like I have to give for this other woman because we're celebrating with her. So it was just kind of like weird. And some people are very introverted and they're like, if all these people are going, I don't want to go. I just want it to be like the core group. And so it became really overwhelming. There were people complaining to the person in charge from all different sides and everything. And I said, we're done. This is stupid. This is unnecessary. We don't need to be giving fellow adult women $200 gift cards for their birthday. They can get their own gift cards. And I said, this is not budget conscious for everyone. This puts pressure on people. If you forget someone's birthday, because now you're inviting all these random people, then there has to be some sort of checks and balances to make sure someone's birthday doesn't get missed. It's causing me too much stress and we're done. So I sent a text message and I said that I thought that it would, I basically said that it's become too complicated. There's so many moms that it can be difficult for people to feel like to have the budget to do all of this. And then I said that the entire purpose of it is to spend time together, and that we can do that without the gift giving, and that we should host like nights where we get all the moms together and there's no pressure to bring gifts and we can all enjoy each other's presence. And who's going to come back and say, no, I want you to give me $200 for my birthday. Right.
That's true.
So
you can't come back and say anything now.
Yeah. I made a point to be like, the true gift is each other's presence.
It's like you're giving like your Christmas talk to your kids. Like, it's not about the gifts. Yes. It's about the experiences and the family.
Exactly. And they're like, this sucks. And so then, to be the true leader that I am, I then hosted the first neighborhood girls night where I invited everyone over to my house and no one had to bring me a gift.
Look at you.
It wasn't for my birthday, but yeah, I had so much anxiety. I sat there with my friend and I crafted the message. She was like, I can't believe you're going to send it. I said, I don't care, because there's some women that are like, no, I want my birthday gift. And I'm like,
too bad.
And well, yeah, that's how I feel. And they're like, but I don't get a birthday gift from anyone else. And I'm like, you're a grown ass adult. Go buy your own birthday gift. Like, I'm sorry. If your partner is not giving you a gift, that's a conversation you need to have with them. If you don't feel special because you're not getting enough gifts, you need to have a conversation with your family about that. It's not my job to make sure that you feel special on your birthday and hand over a gift card for you. I'm sorry. Does that make me a mean person? I feel like
no, I don't think that makes you a mean person at all. It's just hilarious because I kind of want to just be a fly on the wall to hear that conversation. Oh, but Allie, I hope this helped. No,
I feel like we're getting a negative review on this one. That Allison girl talks too much.
No, I forced you to go on that tangent. No. Okay, but no, I just had to know. I had to know more about the inner workings of the suburban mom cults that pop up in these neighborhoods. I just want to know what was going on in there. I was really curious.
Well, let me tell you, I broke down that birthday cult. I shut it down. I said, not here. Not today, Satan.
Not in my neighborhood. Oh, man. Okay, I forced you to go on that tangent, but going back to our original story, I think you set some good boundaries in place. It's about, like, look, much like Allison had to do with this mom cult, she had to say, I'm shutting this down. We're not doing this we're not doing this. You got to set boundaries like Allison, and you got to say, look, lady, I'll keep working for you, but these are the rules. That's the only way it's going to work, is you got to have some strong rules in place. And Allison's story, even though she didn't know it, was a great illustration of setting boundaries and being direct and upfront, which you got to be sometimes.
Thank you.
So we brought it full circle. We brought it back around.
There, Chris.
I took the steering wheel and I brought us back around.
I want to find the text message now.
All right, let me know if you find it. In the meantime, Allie, thanks for sending this question. And if you do have any follow-up for us, we want to know, like, did you continue to work with this person? If you have not done anything yet and you're waiting for our response, let us know how this went. If you did set some strong boundaries, because look, you got to get paid for your work. You can't be sitting there waiting around for somebody to pay you whenever they feel like it. Let us know. You can email us back at, not email us. You can go to our website. That's where you want to go, which is awkwardpodcast.com.
We don't have an email.
Yeah, don't try to email us. You're not going to find it. So go to awkwardpodcast.com, leave us a response, or give us a phone call, which we would prefer, if you really want to make sure we talk about you again. Give us a phone call, 707-200-8259, and you can leave us a voicemail there. So, Allison, we're going to take a quick break. You're going to keep looking for this message because I want to hear more about this.
I found it.
Did you? Okay, wait. Before we go to break, what happened? Actually, no. During the break. For patrons, you'll get to hear this during the break. If not, if you want to hear how Allison cussed out one of her moms in her neighborhood, you can join us on Patreon.
I didn't use cuss words. Or did I? You'll have to join Patreon to find out.
That's the only way you're going to know. All right, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll be hopping into What I'm Loving. It's me specifically, not Allison. We don't care what she's living.
Hey, don't be rude. Okay, so here's the thing. Is this big group text threads with 11 people in it. This is like the core group. This doesn't have any of the newbies or the newer people. I say newbies, but I've only been here for like 4 years. But you have this core group of people. Now, I need you to know, Chris, some of the women in this group, in this neighborhood text thread, have moved away. They have since moved to other neighborhoods, but they're still included in all of these, and we still give them
gifts. How far did they move?
Like to the new nice neighborhood next door. Like we live in the like kind of sad neighborhood. Like we live in a very nice area. Like I've never in my life thought I would live in a nice area like this. Like this is not like where I grew up. But in our little group, in our little area, we are not like the super nice houses in this really nice area. We're like the lowest houses. So some of these women have moved on to the, bigger houses and bigger kind of little sections. But we have this little, like, it's like a neighborhood that's literally made up of just a whole bunch of cul-de-sacs. So there's like 4 streets. It's really small. So some of these women have moved off, like three of them out of this 11, I want to say. Okay. So they were talking about registering your child for 6th grade. And so there's this message about registering your child for 6th grade or middle school classes because it's the older mom group. In the middle of them being like, how do we register? How do we make all this work? I decided now's the perfect time to send this message.
That's where you sent the message?
Because I had everyone's attention because they were all looking at registering their kids. So I said, and I had this proof read by a friend who's in the text thread who knew it was coming, but she was too scared to send it herself. So I said, hey, everyone, as the neighborhood grows and changes, what do y'all think about changing up the birthday celebrations? Some thoughts include holding a girls' night every other month where everyone can bring an appetizer and drink. This allows us to all get together, hang out, and even possibly meet new moms in the neighborhood because some of the moms didn't want to include the younger moms because they're different, right? The joy of this is that we are doing what matters most, spending intentional time together. If we choose to omit large group giving, it would simplify the process and be more inclusive of everyone. What are your thoughts? And so for like the next 10 minutes, people continue to respond about like how to choose your fine arts for your child. So then, as a nice prod, I decided to add another message and I said, or if you have another idea that you think would be good, let's hear it. No one says anything. They talk about other things.
Ignoring
they talk
you.
about other things. They talk about other things. They talk about other things. It's not until like, let me see. There's like all these messages. It's not until later, like a couple hours later, that someone says, Allison, I love the idea of celebrating birthdays by getting together more regularly and not worrying about group gifts. I'm really happy either way, but it does feel more inclusive. So if someone isn't as close to one person, they can feel welcome to come celebrate without a gift contribution because we won't have one. People are just, and then everyone else just said, I don't mind either way. It's fine by me. Like all of these things. So that's basically, yeah. And then I said, my fear is that we are missing people when someone else puts together my birthday celebration. I'm afraid this means we are missing someone else's birthday celebration. Does that make sense? Also, I don't want people to feel like they have to give money for gifts for people that they don't know as well. We could always coordinate our own events and just not do gifts. I just want to see everyone hang out.
And then
that was it.
Okay, well, where was the person who was like, where's my gift? I want to get my gift before it's over.
She never responded. She never responded because people were doing that. But like people know. And so like one of my good friends was like, well, I don't want to do that. I feel bad because I know this person looks forward to their gift. And I said, that's not your responsibility. It is not your responsibility to make sure that this person gets a gift because their spouse does not give them a gift on their birthday.
Or they could give them a gift. How about that one person give that other one person a gift and call it a day?
I didn't think of saying that.
That's what I would have said.
I should have said that. But I said that's not your responsibility to make that person make sure that they receive something on your birthday. It's my responsibility to make sure my children receive something on my birthday and my husband receives something on his birthday. Oh, wait. It's my responsibility to make sure my children receive something on their birthday and my husband and then my parents.
Yeah, this sounds like a horrible situation. I'm happy, but you navigated it well. You brought people out of this nonsense. So
It made one of my friends cry beforehand because it got so ugly with like people coming up to her. We were at main event for Mother Son Night talking about it, and she just started
hold
crying.
on, what in the world is main event night for mother? What?
Main event? You don't have a main event there?
What in the world is main event? What is it?
It's like an arcade, bowling, laser tag.
Oh,
Like,
is it kind of? We have like a thing
know,
called Lucky Strike out here. That kind of
we don't
sounds like
have
that.
but it has arcades, a whole bunch of arcade games. It has bowling. We've hosted kids' birthday parties there.
I mean, it also just kind of sounds like a bowling alley.
But it's better than a bowling alley. It has like more stuff. It's not just like a yucky bowling alley.
Hey, I grew
It
up
has
in bowling
laser
alleys.
tag.
You know what?
So anyway, we were at Mother Son Night. Our school did a Mother Son fundraiser night where you basically brought your kid and you paid $30, which I thought was so expensive.
Just to be there?
$30 to be there for like 4 hours. It was like unlimited, like bowling and games, and
That's not bad for $30.
Yeah, but anyway, so basically all the boys just go off and play, and all the moms stand around and talk. And one of the moms started crying, and I said, "This is ridiculous. You planning someone's birthday party should not bring this much drama." And I said, "This is so," and I was like, "This is so stupid. I'm putting an end to this."
Yeah,
Sorry.
unnecessary. Get that drama out of here.
Yeah.
Oh man! All right, let's hop back into
sorry
the.
about
Let's hop back
Okay.
in. You want to bring us
Okay,
back?
here we go. I'll bring us back.
All right, go for it.
Chris, do you know what time it is?
Oh, you know I do. But why don't you tell everybody else? Let me get the sound effect ready here.
Yeah, get it ready because it's time for what I'm loving.
Did it go off? I can't tell.
A little delayed. It went off. It went off. This is when Chris and I share something that we're loving. It could be a book, a thing, a person, a TV show, a movie, a piece of clothing. It could be anything that we did that brought us joy so that you can either try it out on your own. None of these are sponsored. These are all things that we truly do love ourselves. So you can try it out on your own or just start being more aware of the things that are bringing you joy in your life.
Beautifully said, Allison. So
I don't think we've ever said that none of this is sponsored.
no, it's not. I hope people know that it's not. No one's paying us for this.
No one is paying us to say so. Yeah, don't think that we're doing this because we're getting paid.
No, this is free advertisement for whatever it is.
Okay, I want you to go first.
Yes. Well, Allison, if you didn't know, what I'm loving is WrestleMania,
The Super Bowl of wrestling.
the Super Bowl of wrestling. Now, some people are going to say wrestling is fake. And I'm like, yes, I know it's all pre-scripted. And I haven't really watched it. I can tell you this, 80% of the people who walked out there, I had no idea who they were because I hadn't watched wrestling in so long. But it still is a spectacle. Like this is
With Hulk Hogan there?
No, there's no Hulk Hogan. I don't think there'd be anyone there you recognize. Oh, Snoop Dogg was there. Yes.
He hasn't taken up wrestling, has he?
No, he's always kind of been involved. Like remember when I told you that story of when my dad broke my wrestling CD?
Oh yes.
It was like a rap album of like
that was the song he came out of.
well
Or
he
had a
did
song.
one of those. He did Stone Cold's
Okay.
remix whatever song.
Okay.
So he's been involved in wrestling for years now. I think one of his family members is a professional wrestler, like his cousin or
Okay.
something.
Did he go to like have a concert? Do WrestleMania also have like singers? Like
No, there's no
performers?
concert. He was a host. He was a co-host along with one of the wrestlers.
Okay.
And so, I mean, I'm going to jump around here, but one of the things that happened was there's like, this is a huge SoFi Stadium, massive. On one end is like the big entrance stage. It's massive. It's gigantic. And then there's this huge like 30-yard ramp that they're all walking down. And then it goes to the ring right in the center. And so what'll happen is it'll get kind of quiet when the next wrestler is going to come out. And you can see like the cameramen all positioning themselves at the ramp. And then Shane McMahon came out, who is like Vince McMahon's son. Vince McMahon is the guy who owned WWE. And he used to come out back in the day, like in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s when I used to watch. And it would be like this huge thing because he wasn't a wrestler. He wasn't like normally wrestling, but he would come out there and have amazing matches. He would do crazy stuff. He would fall from like 50 feet in the air down onto like a who knows what, or he would jump off the top of a cage. He would do crazy stuff, jump across the ring. And so when his music hit, everyone was like, oh, hyped because he was coming out there. Because like, oh, something good's going to happen. but this man is like 50 years old now. Like it's been a long time since those days when I watched him wrestle. So he comes out there with his music, he's all gray and he's all hyped up. He comes out there skipping down the ramp and he's just
wearing his little wrestling outfit.
He wears like a baseball shirt, like a wrestling branded baseball jersey type of thing, and like sweatpants is what he's wearing. He's not wearing like little little shorts, little underwear. And he comes out there, he's all hype, and the whole gimmick for this was that Snoop Dogg was like found somebody for his co-host to wrestle because his co-host is an actual wrestler. So they get in the ring and they're gonna do their match. Snoop Dogg is like, go for it, and he gets out. And then they start off. And you ever seen in wrestling where they do this thing where one person, like, they run off the ropes and the other person kind of like falls on the ground. They jump over them and then they come back and they're going to jump over the top. So when Shane McMahon.
A little gymnastics.
Yeah.
In there.
A little exciting opening. He jumps up and when he lands on the ground, his knee buckles. He goes, whoa, whoa. And he falls to the ground. Apparently he like tore his ACL and like, I don't even know what else he did to his leg at 50. And because I don't know what. It was like, it got quiet. Everyone was like, because he just, like, you imagine this, energy was through the roof. Everyone was hyped because he was there. He comes down with his music. It's a surprise match. And then he gets hurt 10 seconds into the match. And so you can tell when something's real because nothing happens, right? Because everyone, normally if it's like, they fake injuries all the time and, they keep playing when, they go along with it, but they got like, they kind of pause and you can see them kind of standing around. And then you can see like the ref, when somebody really gets hurt, they do this, they throw this sign. And that's how you know it's like a real injury. And then like someone runs out the corner with like a towel and they're like talking to him. And so this is WrestleMania. There's 80,000 people here. So you can't just like stop and do nothing. So Snoop Dogg, they sometimes somebody communicates to him to attack the other host to be like to fill the gap of time. So he like fake punches the other guy and then he does like the people's elbow and people go crazy. They go wild and they really like recovered that segment that could have gone horribly wrong. But it was just it was just a night full of just random crazy explosions, people getting hurt, people jumping off of stuff, music. It's I still don't know what's happening. Like after WrestleMania ended, I have no idea where these people are going to go do next, but it lived up to my expectations of just an extravagant, over the top live event.
Performance.
Very impressive. Like just very impressive what they put together.
Can we talk about how much this 50-year-old guy probably regrets this decision? I mean, getting over an ACL tear at 50's got to be rough.
I know. I felt bad for him because here's the thing that made it even more sad. Like he came out there and he was like choked up. Like they gave him the microphone. He was like visibly and audibly choked up at the reaction because it was so loud in that arena when he came out.
Oh, wow.
And he was like all choked up. He's like, all he said was like, I just really appreciate the support and the love and all this stuff. And then he goes on to hurt himself immediately. And I felt so bad because he was so swept up in the moment. People loved him. And then he just immediately had to get like carried, like they like walked him over through like the barrier through the backside and out the back exit of the arena because he was he couldn't walk back up that ramp. It was over.
This is the first time that either of us have loved someone tearing their ACL on the podcast.
That's not the part I loved, but
that's what we focused on this entire time. Entire time, all we focused on was the ACL tear of this old man. You set it all up. We talked about it. We basically what Chris loves is the fact that fake wrestling and fake pain turns into real pain.
These people out there really hurting each other. They're really hurting each other out there. And one positive note, it's just overall really good event. And I will say, wrestling is not the most progressive thing out there. If you've ever seen wrestling, especially from the 90s, it was a messed up thing. They were doing some stuff they should not have been doing. But one thing I did notice is that there's a lot more respect for women wrestlers now. Like it was like a joke back in the day. It was just objectified. But now they're like a legit women's division. And like they have one of the best matches of the night. Like they were like legit doing some crazy stuff, like jumping off the side and kicking people.
Tearing two ACLs at once.
Let me tell you this. Not one woman tore an ACL that night. I can tell you that. They stretched and prepped before they came out there. But no, it was overall really, really good event. It was I've never been in a place with that many people at one time and they were just like cheering and it was deafening in that place. It was overall just a really cool experience. So I'm happy I got to do that.
I'm glad you got to experience it. I hope that 50-year-old man heals up.
I hope so too.
fast. Won't be the same
Shane
as
O'Mac,
it was
hope you
before.
heal up nice and strong after that.
Yes. Okay. So, do you want to know what I'm loving? Actually, I kind of want you to guess.
Okay, so on this list, it says a court of thorns and roses. I can't even read it. A court of thorns and roses. Is this a soap opera? So in my mind, this is a soap opera set in the like medieval time, and there's like this like evil king who has his daughter, right? And she's blooming into a rose, the flower of adulthood, and he's the thorns trying to keep her down and keep the men away from her. And it's about the drama of the daughter wanting to be her own person and find love, but the evil king is constantly killing the suitors who come for her, and she's wondering, will I ever find love? And one day her dad dies on the toilet, and she gains the throne, and she can do whatever she wants to do.
Okay, so you were wrong.
I'm shocked.
But I love it. This is this is actually a book that I have not finished reading yet. Yes, it's an audiobook. I'm listening to an audiobook. I have like 5 hours left. I originally heard about this book from, shout out to Sherry Petersick from Young House Love. She was like promoted it years and years and years ago. And I was always like, oh, let me listen to that, or let me read that. But I never did. It was just never, it just seemed like a big book. And so then the other day, Chloe Daniels, Bear, posted about it on Instagram. And I thought, and she was talking about how amazing it was. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to let that be my next book I read, because my goal is to read first it was 23 books in 2023. But then I was like, you're better than that, Allison. And I raised it to 25 books. And so far, this is actually book number, I don't know. Oh, I have to go into Goodreads to figure that out. Anyway, I think this is book number like 9 for me or something this year. But it is not as exciting as what you said, and not as crazy. What it is it's about this woman who lives in the human realm, but there's this other realm of fairies. and there's a fairy realm. And many years ago, like 500 years ago, there was this war between the humans and the fairies, because I think the fairies kept the humans as slaves. And
I'm guessing these are like human-sized fairies. We're not talking about those like little Tinkerbell-sized fairies.
Yeah,
I'm guessing,
human-sized fairies. And so anyway, there's been this division and there's been this separation. And one day this girl goes out and she's hunting because she's poor. It gave me very much like Hunger Games vibes with your bow and arrow. And she sees a big wolf and she decides to kill it. Well, it turns out that wolf had used magic, and it was actually a fairy, that it disguised itself as a wolf. It crossed over into the human realm. And so per the treaty, she had to go either die or be taken and live there with the High Lord. So there's 7.
Like live with them? Like she's his new wife
live in
now?
His castle. No, like live in his castle and like be like a prisoner essentially.
Like, do you get to live nice, or are you living like a prisoner?
Get to live nice.
How's this a punishment?
Nice.
You murder someone and you get to go live in a castle?
Yes. America's judicial system. Prisons need to get on it. Step on it, America. So anyway, I'm at the part in the book now where she has actually fallen in love with the High Lord, and there's a very erotic scene with them.
So you're telling me you murder someone, you get to move and live into a castle, you get to have sex with a king and become a queen. This sounds like not any type of deterrent whatsoever. Anyway. I mean, why aren't all the poor people just killing fairies and get to live a great life?
So anyway, but then there's this queen, this evil, evil woman that casts a spell over the land, and the girl needs to run away, or else the evil woman's going to basically come and kill her. And so she runs away. The High Lord sends her off because he loves her so much. He doesn't want her to die. And now she has come back because she's realized that she actually told the woman like the wrong name. Like, instead of being like, my name's Allison, she was like, my name's Ashley. And that evil woman went and killed all of Ashley's family and Ashley. So that kind of was a
Wait,
sad
so
choice.
did she just make up a name that just happened to be the name of someone else, like a first and last name?
No, it was like her sister's friend. It was like the name that came to her. It's like if you were like someone asked you what your name is, and you were like didn't want to give them your name because you knew it was dangerous. So you were like, "It's Logan. My name's Logan." And then they go and they kill all of Logan and his family.
So
All
they
of
just get
Logan's family
all
knows.
Logans, or just one specific one? How they know?
Just that one.
How they go
specific-
find
you
him?
said-
If they only know his first name.
You said Logan last name. You said Logan last name. So anyway, it's I'm not a nerd. It is amazing. I was thinking it's kind of like, you know how you like Star Wars? It's very like fantasy driven like that. It's like that. But anyway, I've heard the second book is better. I'm not even done with the first book. It is so good. I'm listening to it on Audible. I cannot stop listening to it. It's amazing. It is incredible.
I don't like the life lessons that this book is teaching, but I'll let you finish it. Maybe they resolve it at the end.
Maybe. Although there's multiple books, so I'm sure that there's going to be some sort of cliffhanger.
Wait, you told me you don't read fiction. You said I only read nonfiction.
Yes. So one of my goals this year was to actually every other book I read for it to be fiction.
See, I was going to send you a fiction
myself
book,
into
but I was like,
reading
oh, Allison doesn't like fiction, so I won't send it to her.
Do you want to hear what I've read so far this year?
How many are you
I'm on
at
book
this
number
point?
9.
Number 9. Okay.
This is book number 9 that I'm reading, but I'm also reading a nonfiction book simultaneously. So I've actually read a lot of fiction books. All Good People Here is fiction. It Ends With Us is fiction. It Starts With Us is fiction.
Is that the sequel?
Verity is fiction. Yes. Remarkably Bright Creatures, that's fiction. I've actually
It kind of sounds like all your books are fiction books.
Well, I have Quit Like a Millionaire. That's nonfiction. The Light We Carry by Michelle Obama. That's nonfiction. And then Die with Zero is nonfiction.
So like 3 out of 9. So
and I read The Boundaries. I read the Book of Boundaries.
Okay.
Was
So
that
you're
this
like
year or was that
60%
last year?
fiction, 40% nonfiction. It's pretty balanced.
Maybe I bought this last year. Actually, this was last year. So this was a 2022 book. But I'm reading a nonfiction book simultaneously, but it's for work. So
Sounds boring.
But it still counts. It kind of is.
Okay, all I gotta say, my description wasn't that far off. it was way off. Huh, okay, well,
It was pretty good though.
would you read that book? I think that book has to be out there somewhere. You know,
I would read that book.
Okay, I'm gonna go find it for you. All right. Well, in our final segment here, as we wrap up the episode, it's the listener shout out segment. This is where we just say, thanks and hi to, we just say, hey, how's it going to a listener who is out there supporting what we do. And this one I'm really excited about. Do you want to do this one or you want me to do it, Allison?
I want you to do it. I want to hear you say this person's name.
So we have a brand new patron. Shout out to, this is their name. This is the username they selected. Nom Nom. Nom Nom is our new patron supporting us here on Patreon. Not only is it the sound you make when you eat something delicious, it is also the name of our brand new patron. So we appreciate the support. It's always great getting a new person in here, part of the team. Hopefully they're going to join us here on Discord soon. But yeah, if you want to be like Nom Nom and become a patron of This Is Awkward, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/This Is Awkward Podcast. $3 a month. You can get your ad-free RSS feed, or you can pay $5 and get all the bonus stuff we got there. Just $5 a month. We put out a bunch of bonus episodes this past month. And also, we're getting ready. We're not right there yet, but soon we'll be taking our summer break. Every year, we take about a month off in the summer, just so Allison, she has a family. She has stuff she needs to do. I got no kids. I can do whatever I want to do. But Allison has kids, so she's going on family vacations during the summer. So
They hold me hostage.
they hold you
something.
up, like you're stopping that podcast nonsense and taking us somewhere. But we don't stop the podcast for our patrons, even though we stop the main feed. So if you want to keep getting episodes and get our huge back catalog of episodes at this point of past episodes, come join us over on Patreon.
Yes, you're not going to regret it. I promise. And
No.
if you do, you can just cancel. That's the thing, right? There's no commitment. If you get it, you're like, oh, this is really crappy. It was only like $5 and you can cancel right away. So it'll be good.
Yeah.
Or not. Who knows? Regardless, though, if you want to be like our person who wrote in, Allie, shout out to Allie. If you want to be like her You can send us your awkward money story by either calling us, which is actually what we prefer, at 707-200-8259. Leave us a voicemail there. Chris can edit you to sound just chef's kiss, just perfect and amazing. Or you can go to awkwardpodcast.com and send your awkward story that way as well.
Yeah, perfect. So appreciate you all joining us for another episode here, and we'll catch you all soon.
Bye.
Boom. We did it.
Woo. Okay.
I feel rusty. Like it's been a while.
I do too.
All right.
I'm tired.
Trying to get to our Patreon episode. So we're saying goodbye to Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. We'll see you all later.
What? We're on Twitch?
Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. And YouTube,
Twitch?
of course. And boom, there we go. Oh, man. Patreon time. So today, should we wait? Will the music work?
Do the thing.
I don't know if the music's gonna work this time.
Oh, that's right. It didn't work.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me try it again. Let's see. Intro. Knows. I gotta go fix something.
Person has tech problems.
Gotta go fix this. Who knows? Who knows what the problem is now? Anyways, imagine there's music playing right now. We're going on into our Patreon episode. And this is going to be a special edition of Am I the Awkward One? And it's only appropriate that this special edition comes from the person who gave us a name for this segment, Scroggy Mama. She sent this into the Discord. And I've held on to it for a while. And for some reason, I just forgot to go back in there and pull it out. But we got it today. And this is a story that was originally, it looks like it was on another podcast. They were pulling a post from Reddit, but I went and found the original post. They had taken it down, but I went into the, have you ever used, I think it's called the Internet Archive, or like the Wayback Machine. Have you ever used that?
Oh my God. Can you find stuff that I posted in college that way?
No, but you can, I don't know, but you can go to websites and you can find older versions of those websites because everything gets archived thanks to the Internet Archive. So if you copy the web address from website, you go to web.archive.org, you can paste the web address in and it'll show you older versions over the years. And so I was able to type in the Reddit post that had been taken down, put the web address there, and then it gave me the original post that had been taken down. It is amazing. So Allison, better check what you're putting on the internet, all right? We'll be able to go, find it.
What do I go to?
All right, here, actually, I can share my screen. Why don't you do that?
No, but what do I go to? Web.archive.
So here's well, that's actually the the seats there. Maybe we get this up here. All right. So this is where I went. Oops, I accidentally put a period at the end.
Web.archive.org. And then I put it in.
Yeah, so it's called the Wayback Machine right here. Here's the homepage. And so what you do, you go somewhere and you find a website and you paste it in here. And then it gives you all the older versions that they can find that have been archived. So I went and found that version. So let me see. Let me grab the web address here. So I'll show you what it looked like. So when I originally went there.
Can we find my GeoCities?
So this was the post here. See, it's been removed. There's nothing there. I can't click on it. They removed it. But I took the web address. I went in here. I went to copy. I went back to the Wayback Machine, pasted it in. And then it showed me there's an old version here in 2022. So I clicked that. And then we scroll down. You see here in November, one snapshot. You click it. It's going to load itself very slowly. Come on.
Oh my gosh, I'm looking at my website from 2017.
Oh, it can't be. I don't know what happened there. That broke. But yeah, basically that's how I pulled
the
text.
It is not pretty. My mom's.
But yeah, you can put any web address in there. And if there's like an old archive version, you'll be able to find it. So shout out Internet Archive and the Wayback Machine.
That's cool.
So I will read this awkward story that came from Scroggy Mama. So shout out Scroggy Mama. All right. I do not get along with my sister. I know this is going to make me sound bitter, but she's always been the golden child of our family, and she never let me forget it. She has this habit where anything I have, she has to have it as well. It started as kids where if my parents bought me anything, even presents on my birthday, she'd have to get something too. It extended to her trying to make significant others cheat on me, going for jobs I applied for only to prove that she could get it too.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. It extended to what?
Significant others.
To what?
It extended to her trying to make significant others cheat on me. Going for jobs I applied for only to prove that she could get it too, and even petty things like buying the same makeup as me, but applying it to show that she's prettier. I've been recently saving up for a really nice designer bag, and she found out from a cousin I told. I know that luxury handbags aren't everyone's cup of tea, but I've worked really hard for a promotion and really wanted to celebrate and do something for myself. My sister began to sniff around to find out exactly which bag I wanted to get, and I just knew what was coming. So I lied. I told my cousin a ridiculously expensive bag that's absolutely not in my sister's taste whatsoever. At Thanksgiving, we all showed up to my grandma's house, and she was carrying the ugly bag. She saw that I was carrying the one I actually wanted and lost it. She said I was vindictive and told my parents that I tried to sabotage her financially. She ended up sobbing and insisting that I pay for her bag to make up for my prank, in quotes. I told her I didn't force her to buy anything, and when I asked her why she wanted that specific bag to begin with, she ended up crying harder. My parents called me a butthole here for messing around with my sister and being so petty, and are insisting I pay for half the bag. I feel justified, but I do feel bad since I did technically tell my cousin the ugly bag, knowing my sister would hear about it. But I still stand by the fact that I couldn't have forced her to buy anything. That story was courtesy of Scroggy Mama. And if you're just listening to the audio, I wish you could see Allison's face right now.
I am sorry. So what are you asking me? What do you want me to? Ask me a question?
Allison, what are your thoughts on this story? Give me this. Just what's going on? What's going on in your mind?
I'm wondering if I can be best friends with the person who wrote in. Can I be their best friend? Like, are they taking applications for friendship? Because I want to be around that person. That is I fully 100% support what they did. Is that terrible?
No, not at all.
I think that the sister that bought the bag is ridiculous. I think that there's no way she should have to pay for the bag at all. Like, no, I'm sorry. Like, that's ridiculous. She did not hold a gun to her head and say, buy this bag. No.
Steal her credit card and buy it.
Your own choice, and you decided to do that. These parents need to stop treating this child like the golden child and like she's still a child. She's a grown woman who needs to accept responsibility and clearly has some insecurities and needs to go into therapy. If anything, if the sister feels like, okay, I should spend money on anything, maybe the initial therapy appointment. That's what I would say. Ooh. I would say I'm not going to pay for the bag, but I'll pay for you to go to therapy. Here's a therapist I recommend.
No, what you do is you find an amazing therapist and then let it leak. And then the sister's going to go try to get to that therapist first and steal your appointment. Boom. Then her life has changed forever.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. I'm sorry.
This
so annoying.
This reminds me of that story we discussed where there was a woman whose husband's sister would always come with them to dinner, but always find a way to leave her wallet. And she went back and grabbed the sister's wallet and it was like, oh, is this what you're looking for? This gives me a lot of that energy right there. I'm feeling a strong connection between these two stories.
Yeah, no, this is, there's no way I would fork over money for that. Like, there's no way.
You couldn't pry. It'd be like maybe out of my cold dead hand. You couldn't pay
me to pay her money.
I don't even understand this. Like, me and my brother, we obviously we fought when we were younger, but it was I can't imagine this type of toxic relationship with your sibling.
Yeah, this is incredibly unhealthy.
Like to where they have to have everything you have and then do it even better. Like, I can't even understand. Like, I don't know. This is stressing me out more than your mom cult. Like I thought I was stressed out hearing about that. This is even worse.
No, this is much worse. This is much worse because you can't just stop being friends with your sister. I mean, you can.
I mean, you could
see her. Yeah, you can, but you can cut her out of your life, but she'll always be there in the back of your head. Like I've cut friends out of my life that are unhealthy, but like that's just it. They're friends. I don't have to, like think about them anymore. They're not lurking around at the holidays. This is real unhealthy.
Yeah, I don't even like. Because here's the thing, this person has no support, right? Like the family, you think the parents would be like, this is kind of stupid. And this doesn't make any sense. But they're kind of enabling all of these actions. And that just sounds, I don't know. That's just I would just cut myself out of the family. I would say, you know what? I'm gonna go find a new family because I'm not coming back for this.
I agree. Now, this does remind me, I have this memory as a child where my brother and I, we would go, and after school, you know, my mom and dad working parents, and school gets out at what, like 3, right? But people aren't done with work at 3. So we would kind of go around to different places. Like sometimes we'd go to a daycare. Sometimes we'd go to like someone's house in the neighborhood that would watch us, like another mom in the neighborhood, and my mom would pay her to watch us. And I remember going to this house, and my brother was annoying the crap out of me. He was just bothering me so much. So I was like, I'm sick of it. And I made a list. I said, I'm going to make a list of everything you've done to me today or this week, whatever. And I made a list to present it to my mom, to be like, look at what your son has done.
Your precious baby boy. Look at him.
Yes. And I don't really remember how she responded. She probably was just like, thank you so much, and then threw it away. But regardless, I made a list for her. And I think that's what this woman should do. She should make a comprehensive list of everything her sister has done and read it at Christmas. No?
I mean, is that I wonder how the parents would take that.
Oh, they wouldn't go over well. This is a terrible idea.
Maybe she needs to make like a TikTok video, and then like with illustrations of everything that this person has done, like everything that the sister's done to them.
Well, I can tell you from personal experience, it didn't get me what I wanted. So
yeah, it doesn't seem like this is advice that this person could use that would actually be helpful, because it didn't seem like that went too well for you.
It didn't, but she has started the list in this Reddit thread. Why did it get taken down?
I don't know. Here's the thing. When you go on Reddit, there's a chance what you're reading is fake. So I don't know if this was a true story and they took it down because it was fake, or sometimes people post things and it just blows up, and then people in their lives start to find out about it, and then they take it down because they're like, oh no, everyone's finding out about this thing.
Did this one blow up?
I don't know.
How many people were on it?
It has 353 comments. I don't know if that's a lot. It was upvoted.
Oh, that's not a lot.
1,000 times, like 1,200. Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea. This is also from November, so I don't know what the original one had. Oh, let's see. The later version of this thing I taken down had 4,600 upvotes and 779 comments. So it might have gotten a little big, because I don't know if you've noticed this. Also, shout out to Luna Love, who said, listening on commute. Hey guys. So,
yay.
What's up, Luna?
Hi, thanks for joining us.
Have you noticed this trend on TikTok where people will read these these stories from Reddit, and it'll be like a voiceover, and it'll be like someone playing like a Subway Surfer, like a video game, like a game on their phone, or some other random video has nothing to do with what they're talking about, but over the dialogue you hear is them reading these awkward stories, and they like blow up because they get so much attention because it's on TikTok. This stuff goes viral like super quick. So it could be that it got huge and they took it down, or they made it up and someone found out. I don't know. It could be any of those things. I want to lean towards it's real and it blew up. That's what I want to believe.
Can I read mine? Please, can I read mine?
Allison, you've been banned. Remember how, for weeks we've tried this? And you get banned every time. I wish Scroggy Mom was not here, but she would set you in your place. She's like, you know what, Allison, thanks for trying, but we're gonna have to say no to that. That's a no for me.
Come on.
Logan said, this is you right here, Allison. You're Chris Jericho. Speaking of wrestling, look at him. You just made the list. That's
whatever that means.
The story you just told about the list about your brother. Remember, you made the list of the things your brother did to you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right.
Logan, see, this is Logan. I want you to this is what it's like talking to Allison. She's halfway listening to me, and I say something that she said. I repeat it back, something that she just said, and she's like, "What are you talking about?" Because she's not listening to a word I'm saying. She's trying to bring up the story that I said she's not allowed because we've tried, and every time it goes horrible.
Please, I'm going to do it. Here we go. Okay. This is from Reddit, which is where Chris gets all of his. It's about money, so it works. And it's from Am I the Asshole? Okay. I can't find it. I lost it.
Oh, man. See, here we go. This is not a great start.
Wait, I found it.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I found it. I actually
You
found
didn't
it.
really. So
The
she
second time I said
lied,
I found it,
said she found it.
I
She
did.
hadn't really
I did.
found
I
it,
did. 'Cause
just to stall
I
for
needed to
time.
save a little bit of time. Okay, here we go.
I
Oh,
have
how do I
trust
gotta
issues
make my
now.
font bigger? Okay. My great aunt set up savings accounts for all her female relatives. Do you not want me to read this one? I already read it to you.
You did read
Do
it
you
to
want
me,
me to
so I won't
find a
be. I
new
won't be
one?
surprised. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll find another
You can read
one.
it. You can read it for the patrons
No.
though. They didn't hear this.
No.
See, Scraggy Mama. I tried to tell her you didn't want her to do this, but this is what happens every time I let Allison just free will and start doing whatever she wants to do on the podcast. We end up with this.
Okay, here's another one. It's not too long. I haven't read this one yet, so here we go. Okay. Okay. My father-in-law was recently diagnosed with terminal cancer.
Oh, starting off
Came
great.
out of the blue.
Wow, this is what Allison's like. I got a great one for you.
Huge shock for the family. My wife is obviously not handling it well. Sorry, guys. He let us know that he will be leaving a few $100,000 to my wife and her brother. We're pretty solid financially and don't need the money, so I thought we'd stick almost all of it into our own children's college fund, wedding fund, down payment fund, and our retirement fund. So, like, split it among funds. Now, my wife's brother is a quite wealthy real estate agent. He's been telling my wife all about his plan to pool the money to buy land and build a family cabin to honor their dad. Cool idea on the surface, but he's just not the type of person I would want to own something with. He's ruthless and lives by ethics and morals I don't agree with. So, a real estate agent. The big issue is my brother-in-law is native while my wife was adopted into the family.
Wait, hold on.
Because of
Wait. Oh, good. I'll let you finish it. Go ahead. I was like, what do you mean native versus?
Because of this, she can't actually own the land or cabin. What does that mean?
Oh, maybe it's on Native American land,
Native American land. Okay.
Yeah.
That must be it. Okay. Because of this, she can't actually own the land or cabin. It would be technically all his. I don't think throwing all that money into something that we will have no control over is a wise idea. We could really set up our kids with that money. Now, obviously, my wife is quite upset with me and has essentially said that I have no say in how the money is spent, which is odd for us because we have joint accounts for everything. All of our money always becomes our money. I think she's stricken with grief and isn't thinking rationally. So.
Oh, wait, that's the end?
I thought that was a good one.
I mean, your real estate agent joke was
No.
great. Well, okay.
Oh, it wasn't my joke.
Oh, wait, was that in there? Was that part of what you were reading?
That was what I was reading.
Oh, I thought you made a
was
real
not
estate
my
agent joke. Oh, I take back all credit. If Luna in here laughed, Luna take back that laugh. It wasn't even Allison. I thought she made a good joke. Ugh.
I read a joke. It's like when you read a joke from a joke book.
I'll give you
And
an
people
A
laugh
for
at you.
delivery.
You accept the laughter as your own. Okay?
I
Don't
feel
tell
betrayed.
me every joke you say is original. Well,
I feel betrayed.
that's fine.
But anyways, okay. Do you want to? Okay, let's discuss it. Let's talk about it then. Since you brought in this unrequested awkward story, let's talk about it. So,
Unrequested. Let the record show I did not give Allison permission
yeah,
to read this or facilitate this type of conversation. She just went rogue.
she was
Is that what you're
strictly
saying?
prohibited from doing this action. Yes, she did it anyways. All right. So, what are your thoughts then? Give us your thoughts. Give us your opinion on this.
I think that if one of my parents had just died and I was not in a good headspace, I would probably also be mad at Matt to be like trying to like tell me what to do. But I also don't think she should do it. I don't think she should go in on something that's essentially not hers and like can't be divided equally. I don't think that that's a good idea. But I understand that she's like, you don't get a say. And I think that that's probably grief and sadness talking and like feeling like maybe she's being treated like a child in this. And she's just going through a lot of emotions. So I think the best thing is to say, look, you should not make big life decisions like this right after you've gone through grief. Like, let's stick the money in a high yield savings account for a year and come back and really decide, like, when everyone's in a better headspace, what you want to do. Because there will always be land to buy and build that cabin. You don't have to get it right away. Make a decision in this difficult time.
Yeah, and I think it's hard to win because sometimes you can have shady family members, right? They could have family members that don't have anyone else's interest but their own and like on their mind.
Oh my gosh. I thought you weren't going to be talking about your brother like that.
I'm talking about you, my adopted sister. But in this situation, you got this guy, right, who he's a real estate agent. He's all about getting that money, obviously. And he's pitching this idea that the husband can see because he's not part of the family, right? Like he's not blinded by the love of a sibling. And that can be hard to speak up. Like you don't want to be the one to talk up against somebody's family member, right? Like especially if they don't see it.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to be the one who's like, yeah, this person's a liar and they're trying to cheat you out of money. Like you can't, that never comes off well.
Yeah, because think about what the brother is painting. He's painting a family cabin, something to honor dad, something that will keep us close when one of our family members has died. Won't dad love it? He'll look down or up from us and on us with love and laughter. That was me. I made that
was
joke.
very good.
I deserve that laugh. Thank you. I deserve that laugh. I earned that laugh. He'll look, and there's a lot of like emotions, like that can be like a little bit manipulating, like the way if he's doing it like that, whether or not it's intentional to be manipulating or it is just spoken out of emotions, it is manipulating. And yes, I love this. His wife is probably an empath too. Thank you, Luna Love. That's true. Like when you're having these really big feelings, as someone who tends to have big emotions.
You?
What?
Yeah. I cannot believe it.
To you.
Shocked.
I know. How many times have you seen me cry?
Multiple times. I'll just leave it at that. I don't know. I didn't count, but multiple times.
Multiple times. Okay. I was like, only multiple? That's only like 5, right? That's actually pretty good for knowing.
I mean, it can be 5. It can be 500.
No, anyway, regardless, as someone who is emotional, I will say that I have been known to not make the best decisions when I'm making decisions based on my emotions. How about that?
Yeah.
I have a track record of that. So
it's easy. It's easy to get swept up in the moment for anything, even if it's not like something as big as losing a family member. Like just you're having a bad day. You're like, you know what? I shouldn't eat this whole thing of ice cream, but I'm gonna. You could, all kinds of things, all kinds of emotions can make you do things you don't want to do. Talking about me on any given weekend today, that's what's happening.
I think that if anything, if this guy were to like come back and try to like win over the wife, because she's probably already just mad. Like at that point, she might just be like, no, nothing you say to me matters. That might be how I would be. I don't know. But literally just being able to say like, I understand. Let's not make any big decisions during this time. Now is not the time to make any big decisions. And then hold on to that because that realtor is going to come out and be like, oh, but the prices now, it's only going to go up and interest rates are going to skyrocket. It's going to keep doing. He's going to probably do that.
Logan said, yeah, you're 50 years old. You leap over another grown man and blow out your knee in the process because you're riding high on emotion.
Yes. Emotions are dangerous. Logan, you make up a really good point. We've really covered very, very much in today's recording how emotions can be so dangerous. Whether you are a wrestler and you're looking back on your past and fondness and you feel like you're 20, but you're really 50. Or you have an aging parent that just found out they have cancer. And so you do something to try to feel closer to your family. Making decisions based on emotions does not always turn out well. It can land you in the hospital, frankly, with a torn ACL.
Hey, listen, Allison, bottle up all those emotions and save your knees. That's the moral of today's episode.
Not quite what I said. Find a therapist and help them navigate those emotions in a way that are healthy and talk through those so that way you can differentiate those emotions between the truth, so that way we don't believe some of the lies that our emotions make us believe.
Oh, that was deep. Turn that around. That was deep. That got real deep.
Well, I've been to therapy for a long time.
You know what, Allison? You redeemed yourself. That was a rare win from you when it comes to this segment. I'm shocked.
Oh my God, Scroggy Mama, did you hear it? Scroggy Mama, did you hear it?
I shouldn't even said that.
It was a win.
Rare
Can you give me a
win.
win, Scroggy Mama? When you listen to this, Scroggy Mama, because you ain't live, you must be doing something with your little Scroggy girl, or Scroggy Daddy's cooking you dinner or something. But when you listen to this, I want you to tell me if I have the right to start bringing back these stories.
At best, you're on probation. At best, it's probation, and we'll see.
Probation, that works for me.
Because that means you can
probation before.
That means you can
You can do it again. And we're gonna. This is where Allison stops sharing personal things.
Oh no! Don't be careful. You tell a story about you beat up that girl and got put on probation. But anyways, let's get out of here.
Happen.
Wait, you
something totally different. I said that didn't happen.
You said that 100% happened. That girl, she learned a valuable lesson that day. We're going to get out of here.
Sister. She kept copying me.
Just so y'all know, all these stories are actually stories from Allison's personal life. None of these were found on the internet. These are all things that have actually happened to Allison.
No, but next time I'm going to talk about the time I was electrocuted. We're going to do that.
I think you just casually dropped that.
I wanted to talk about that tonight, but Chris said no.
Oh, we had to get the Scroggy Mama story. She is up on deck for next. That's so right. you get the next one. But let's get out of here. We've been recording for a very long time.
Bye.
Appreciate y'all joining us. See you next time. If I know how to stop this.